I can't enjoy this camping trip. All I can think about is my stupid extension program.
From what you've told me, it sounds like you really need to sharpen your planning and evaluation skills.
I'm afraid I won't be able to show much impact at my annual review. I'm worried about my job.
That's understandable. Let's meet later and I'll tell you about a tool I use. Logic models have been helping me.
That sounds great. Thanks.
He's in for a treat. Logic models are fabulous tools.
Thanks for meeting me here. I'm ready to learn about logic models.
Oh, it's my pleasure, of course. Logic models are really quite simple. Logic models were developed to provide a means of addressing the distance between a program and its objectives. They are a pictorial representation of the components of a program. What goes into it, to what comes out of it, to what its results are. Logic models show the sequence of events that are needed to make an impact. Let's visualize what this looks like. The first component is the situation. This is where you describe the conditions that motivated you to develop your program. The situation should include data from your needs assessment. It should also include priorities set by the organization and stakeholders. The next piece is your inputs. This is your investment in the program. Money, time, partnerships, materials, volunteers, and so on. Next is your outputs. Describe your audience and explain what you will be doing. Detail the products that will result from the program. The last component is the program outcomes. Here is where you describe the results you are aiming for. Often, these are divided into short, intermediate, and long-term outcomes, or impacts.
That sounds really logical. No pun intended. So how should I get started on making my own?
When you develop a logic model, you actually start with the situation and the desired outcomes. Then you work backwards to fill in what you need to put into the program, what you're going to do, and who you'll be reaching. You always want to have some others review and provide feedback on your logic model. The more people who weigh in, the better.
It sounds like a logic model could really help me to figure out what I should be doing and how to evaluate my programs.
Precisely. It will act as your roadmap in making decisions and help you better structure your workday. It will also be useful in evaluating your programs. With a logic model, you'll be able to determine if you're reaching your goals. You can adjust the logic model if changes take place, or make changes if your program isn't as effective as you'd like it to be.
Great. I think I'll make a draft logic model next week. Then, I'll review it with my advisory committee to get feedback. When I go to my annual review, I can take my logic model. I think it will show that I'm taking a step towards effective planning.
It sure will. I believe you'll be back on track in no time. Use this tool to your advantage. You'll be glad you did. As you get more comfortable with logic models, you can use them to communicate your program to the community. They can also be quite helpful in obtaining grants. Some agencies require them in grant proposals to show how funding will be utilized.
Thanks for sharing this information about logic models with me. I'm going to look at some examples and then make my own.
It's been my pleasure. Best of luck to you.